Hey friends, this is Coach Tanisha Marie. Welcome to my channel. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like, share. Hit the notification bell for updates on more upcoming videos. Hey guys. So, I'm always doing videos. Make sure you share with 5 friends, hit the like button, subscribe, make sure you read and download my ebooks. One is on Amazon. I'm about to put another one on Amazon. Download the book, read it, get yourself involved with some money making things, okay? Both my ebooks talks about money, right? So I do these financial tips, I try to make them short, but sometimes they end up going long because my financial tips come from the heart, come from my experience. So it's not like I have a book reading anything. So this would be financial tip number 4, right? I think it's number 4 now. So everybody knows Kevin Samuels. I don't particularly like the man. Like, I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but he makes valid points. I don't agree with everything he says, but he makes valid points, okay? So I was watching one of his episodes, and the women were on there and they were talking about relationships, and this is financial tip number 4, right? Relationships, right? And it goes with financial tip number 3, which is also self-love, right? So relationships, because you can really fuck up a bag if you have the wrong relationships, right? And you're being in the wrong relationships, whether it's with a man, right? And you're trying to date, or a woman, you're trying to date, a business partner you're trying to do business with and get money with. You can really mess up your financial future with the wrong relationship. So Kevin talked about how men who earn high six figures, 7, 8, 10 figures are considered high valued men, because high valued men, right? High valued men literally know that there is a shortage, or there's limited of high value men. So there's plenty of men making 5 figures. There's plenty of men making 4 figures, right? But there's not a lot of men making high 6 figures, high 7 figures, high 8 figures. It's not. And if they are, they're in certain professions, and they're in the house or they're traveling all over the place, right? So these high valued men exercise their options and say they want it all, right? They want to be with a woman. They want to be with 3 women. They could be with 10 women, and they could be with a man. They could be with 5 men, right? So those high valued men are in that ballpark of bisexual, right? They want it all. They want to have, when you hear basketball players and football players being gay and stuff like that, is true, right? Because high valued men feel like they can have it all, right? So how does a woman consider to be high value, right? By her attitude, how she carry herself, her confidence, how she thinks, and how she takes care of herself and the family. So a woman's not valued at their income. See, this puts a lot of perspective this puts things into perspective for people, because women are not valued at what they bring to the table as far as finance. Only men, right? Because men, they have the nature. The nature of a man is to bring to the table, to provide, to give, right? And the woman, she's supposed to, take care of the household and the kids and the laundry and the food, right? So high valued men is considered high value because of their income. What can they produce? Women are considered high value on their character. See, this puts it into perspective, right? For a lot of people, a lot of women who think their money makes them, No. Mm-mm. Actually, one of my friends said it's a turnoff for women who think that their money is everything for them. So I'm saying all of that to say that even when you're trying to build wealth, you have to understand the position that you're in, right? So for me, I've been married for 14 years, been with my husband for 20 years. It took me a long time, and a long time is like 10 years. It took me like 10 years to really figure out what my position was, because women, unfortunately, we try to compare ourselves to men. You can't compare yourself to a man. Women cannot compare themselves to men. But in the society of social media, women want to compare themselves to men. Or I make more than a man. In Africa, African cultures and you know, different cultures across the world, men don't even give a fuck if the woman has money. He got the money, so he's bringing the money to the table. The American thing is, oh, well, if the girl ain't bringing nothing to the table, we can't do nothing. This is why so many people are single. And this is why you had people like Kevin Samuels having 100,000 people that are single on his live, because they trying to figure shit out, right? Oh, well, if he don't bring this to the table, I don't want to be with him. What about if he has some potential? Now, there's rules and there's exceptions to everything, right? If he's over 50 and he don't have nothing going on and he's living at home with mom and he don't got no degrees, he don't have no ambition, he don't have a decent, steady job, then that's kind of like a lost cause, right? Because at least by 40 years old, you should be already thinking about the path you want to be on. And Kevin Samuels also said that men do not reach their peak potential in earnings until 45, 55. So by 45, 55, you reach your peak potential. You should be already on the road at 40 years old, right? So after 50, I feel like for a man or a woman, if you don't have something in place, unfortunately, it's a lost cause, because you done lived more than half of your life already, right? The average man dies at 79. The average woman dies at 85. So if you 50 and you a man, you only got 20 something years ago. If you 50 and you're a woman, you only got 30 something years ago, right? So understanding these things, okay? So if you're over 50 and you're living with mom, or you ain't got no potential, forget about trying to build a relationship with somebody decent. Forget it. All right. Now, of course, if you're under, right, 50, 50, 40, right, now you have more potential to be able to produce and do things and be able to work with, but you still need to have something for somebody to work with, right? You don't want to come in a relationship, especially as a man, with zero. Don't be 40 years old with zero. Don't be 30 years old without any potential, because in your teens and your 20s and your 30s, you have potential. In your teens and your 20s and your 30s, you have the potential. When you're 40s and 50, the potential is out the door. Now you should be already doing something with that potential, right? Same thing for women. I'm not, just getting on men. Women, the same thing. By like, you got to have, your potential's over, right? I don't care what BBL you get, what lip fillers you get, what eyelashes you get, what wig you get, what body you get snatched. After a certain age, it's over. But before a certain age, you got the potential in the teens, 20s, and 30s. By 40s, ladies, if you don't have anything to bring to the table, right? If you don't have anything to bring to the table and you have nothing but children, and now you're looking for a man to take care of your children, That's also a bad relationship with yourself, right? So in building wealth, the right relationships, and not just the right relationships with yourself. If you 40 and you know you ain't got nothing, it's time to get something. If you 50 and you a man, you know you ain't got nothing, it's time to get something. Really, by 50 years old, if you did it right, you already had a job at 21 and you was retired at 41 or 45, and now you live in your retirement life, and then now you work wherever you want to work or have your own business. That's really what they taught us in school. They taught us in school to get a job right out of school, right? To get a job right out of school, city job, government job, whatever, work 20 years, work 25 years, and you retire. So by the time you 41, 45, you already getting your retirement money, right? But people jump from job to job to job to job to job. They take off, go for another job to job. Then they stop. Then they go to school, to school, to school, to school, to school. Then they stop. Then you realize, oh, now I'm 40. From 20 to 40, you did all the other stuff. Now you're 40. Now you're looking back like, damn, if I would have stayed at that city job, if I would have stayed at that government job, but it's too late now. All right. So having the right relationship, guys, with yourself, knowing yourself and loving yourself, right, goes with all the other financial tips. Loving yourself and knowing yourself. Loving yourself and knowing yourself, right? Because now you're going to know what your potential is. You're going to know what it means to be high valued man or woman. I feel like I'm a high valued woman. I feel like I know how to submit. I feel like I know how to talk to my husband. I think I've learned how to have the right attitude towards a man, right? I think I've learned how to cater to my man, but of course, everything takes time. Of course, everything's a learning process. Everything is a tweak and a fix and a trade. So you got to put yourself in a category. Oh, you make 6 figures. That's not really a turn on for real, for a real man. Oh, my wife makes 6 figures. And if that's more than him, that's definitely not, right? Some men, that's definitely not some men, it's really not a turn on that they women is making 6 figures. And they not. It's really not. Right? So, you know, women, we got to really start evaluating what's important here. Because two imperfect people coming together trying to build and trying to make everything perfect. It's hard. It's hard. I've been with my husband 14 years. It ain't easy. You know, it's not easy. Right? But I mean, again, now you know which lane to take. Now you know if you're a high valued woman or if you're a high valued man, right? And if you're a high valued man, you're considered to be making over 200,000, 250,000, 300,000, right? And up. And that's like a needle in 20 haystacks. And then a high valued woman too, same thing, right? It's like a needle in like 20 haystacks. There's women everywhere, because Kevin Samuels also said that if every woman got married to a man, because remember, there's more women than men. If every woman got married to a man in the world, there'll still be 2 million women left over. So the high value men know this. So they're like, oh, I could have four girlfriends or 4 wives, or, you know, a wife and 3 other women on the side, because they're high valued, right? Right? Even men who's making 5 figures, 4 figures, they get it too. Like, shit, I'm gonna have my wife, and I'm gonna have a chick on the side. I'm gonna have a work wife. I'm gonna have a wife in the building. Right? So it's definitely not easy, right? Having relationships with yourself and having relationships with other people too, right? The right relationships with yourself and the right relationships with other people too. Okay? Because if not, it could fuck up your whole life. It could fuck up your whole bag. It could fuck up your whole mind. It could fuck up your whole future. And I know you don't want that. So let's start putting things into perspective in 2023. Don't just go for the surface shit. Right? Don't just go for the surface, things. Right? All these people on social media, all these women making money. Now, it's not wrong with a woman making money. But if you're talking about now in a society where men that's high valued are also looking for a high valued woman, and it's not about your money, then that puts it in perspective on you becoming a high value woman. Right? So it's like comparables. Right? The man got the money, the woman got the attitude and the submission. Right? Not both of y'all got money. Not both of y'all got submission. Right? That's how God made it. The man is a provider and the woman takes care of. That's how it works. In this day and age, the woman want to be the woman in the man. The man want to be the woman in the man. It's like, what the fuck? So having good relationships, guys, with yourself, so that you can have good relationships with other people and becoming a high valued person. Right? I'm not just saying that because Kevin Samuels. You should already want to be a high valued woman. You should be already wanting to be a high valued man. I've been talking about this forever. Investing in yourself makes you more valuable to the world. Right? It makes you high value. Right? And investing in yourself, doing things, putting things out there, people getting to know you, people knowing your name. Right? High valued. High valued. Right? So now you can say, am I a high valued woman or am I a high valued man? So high valued men is 200, 250 plus a year. So now you know, okay, well, I'm not a high valued man if I make it under 250,000. Well, now I know I'm not a high valued woman if I ain't got the right attitude. Right? If I'm not willing to submit, to a man. If I'm not willing to take care of. Right? Because again, a man, if you become his piece, and you in your position, you ain't gonna want for nothing anyway. I experienced that with my husband when I first met him. My husband's African. I can't remember me pulling out money from my wallet and say, oh, I'm gonna pay for this. He paid for everything. He even paid for my daughter's school. And that wasn't even his daughter. So I think everybody deserves love. I think everybody deserves to have love. But yeah, you gotta love you first. The first relationships to having a relationship is having a relationship with you. If you can't have a good relationship with yourself, just like getting married, you cannot have a good marriage if you can't even get your shit together. If you can't get it together, you can't get a marriage together. That's why marriages flunk sometimes, right? Because the person is a dysfunctional person with another dysfunctional person, and now y'all just in a dysfunctional marriage, right? That's why people really should try to get it together before they get married. I'm not saying you got to have all the way together. You got to be the perfect person, but at least you're working on your credit. At least you're working on your health. At least you're working on your future. At least you're working on your vision. At least you're working on your career. At least you're working on your money. At least you're working on your life insurance. At least you're working on your health insurance. At least you're working on those things, right? Because now you're bringing something for somebody else to work with. When you have nothing, they're not bringing nothing, you ain't got nothing to work with. So now they got to find something that they can try to work with, which is frustrating all in itself. Because that could take years trying to find potential in your man or your woman who ain't got no damn potential. Financial tip number 4. If you guys bought my Kindle version ebook of A Woman's Guide to Success, leave me a review. Leave a review. I'm going to put the link in the description. You can download it on Kindle on Amazon. I'm going to literally, this quarter, my goal is to upload 3 books. I already have 1 already being uploaded, which is my Drop Shipping to Riches book, and 2 other books that I'm working on. So that's the goal, to have 3 books on Amazon this quarter. Okay, so I definitely need you guys support. Definitely purchase the book. on your Kindle. I think it's like $2, $3, something like that. Download it, read it, and leave me a 5-star review. Okay? See you guys soon.